Are you having trouble rolling out on time? I've been a software developer for almost a quarter of a century. Over that time, I've learned a lot of practices that work. Today, I'm going to share with you an iteration-aligned software release calendar that can help you and your team ship software regularly, reliably. First of all, there's a mindset behind this calendar. In life, you have to make choices. Where you live, who you love, what you eat, and those things come with a set of priorities associated with them. This release calendar prioritizes regular and predictable software releases. And if that's your goal, here's what you should do. In our context, we have three environments. We have a test environment, stable environment, production environment. We have a branch for each of those environments. We have a feature workflow where the developer implements this feature on the branch, which is cut from dev. The developer tests on their own branch, merges it to the dev branch and verifies it in that environment, and the test analyst will then test it. And then all of the features are promoted from dev to stable at once, and then verified in the stable environment along with a regression suite, and we heavily use CI and CD. The Tuesday prior to the sprint, we have planning. Then start the sprint on Wednesday, and the sprint runs for 2 weeks from Wednesday through the following Tuesday. And then on the Tuesday, there is actually planning for the following sprint. On the Wednesday following the sprint, we have the end of the sprint, code freeze, promotion, and retro. The Wednesday through the Tuesday, we regression test and sign off the release. On the Tuesday following the iteration, we have release planning, and then a go, no go, and a software rollout on Wednesday night. And then there is a period where the UAT environment looks exactly like the production environment, where we can prep and roll out hotfixes. So what does planning look like? It's typically run by the project lead. We explain everybody enough detail so that they could implement the ticket, and we decide on the implementation strategy, and then we size the tickets. And sizing is not just important for planning itself, it also makes sure that the developers have listened in enough detail that they're able to decide how big it is. All of the developers attend to get context, and then the project lead brings a certain number of items into the iteration so that we can run them for the sprint. The sprint runs for 2 weeks from Wednesday through the following Tuesday. Developers focus on getting work finished, tested, and fixed. We actively manage blockers, and the first week is complicated by an overlap with regression testing, as you will have seen on the diagram. The QA analysts focus on testing the test environment, and any features that go into the test environment are marked for the release. We make use of CI/CD for the rollout to the test environment. On feature freeze and stable promotion, all of the features go from the test environment to the UAT environment. All features marked for the release begin verification, and if they haven't been tested yet, they are now. And then if we detect any problems in the stable environment, we fix them with a priority. The QAs run a regression to make sure that we haven't introduced any other problems. And really, during this time, we prioritize stabilizing the software so that we know that it's good enough to go out to production. Retro is a pretty good opportunity for stakeholders to reflect on the good things, what sped us up and slowed us down, and any risks that we started to detect. And then we take away a task list that the team maintains proactively and take ownership of. Release planning is centered around a run book, and we have a template, so regular actions are templated into that run book, which we clone and then fill in the extra details. Any unusual actions are discussed and added to the run book, and team members are assigned the actions so that they know who is going to run them on the night. There's some reminders for who we need to communicate with and a checklist, which avoids us skipping or forgetting important tasks on the night when we're in the middle of things. We also consider options for rollback, and sometimes that's not possible. Prior to the release, we run a go, no go session, which essentially involves a vote. It involves the lead QA and lead dev and the project lead. It requires a unanimous decision. If anyone thinks that it's not ready, we will postpone the release or cancel it altogether. The rollout is usually on a quiet time and often on a Wednesday night, and I think that that's a good time because it gives us time to develop and roll out hotfixes on Thursday if we need to, and that leaves Friday free for no rollouts. The team promotes the software to production, usually it's a click or several, and then we run a smoke test to confirm that the system is working as expected in production, and if we detect any problems, well, we triage them at the time and decide how important they are and either fix them immediately or schedule them for a hotfix for the following day. During the hotfix window, the hotfixes are made on the stable environment, so stable branch, which is roughly identical to production. It runs until the following iteration's code freeze. Often we run a shorter, more targeted release process for hotfixes, and that's to prioritise restoring service rather than covering the entire software. So in summary, it's a 2-week rolling iteration with subsequent stabilisation and release, and we prioritise regular and predictable rollouts. And if you like this, please like or comment.